Hello and welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. This is a channel dedicated to mindful makeup consumption, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the bad makeup purchasing habits that I had in the past and that I hopefully no longer have. I have never wanted to be a makeup collector, and although I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and I've undoubtedly been influenced by YouTube as well as inspired and educated, I never actually had this pressure to keep up with YouTubers and keep buying makeup. Nevertheless, I've somehow managed to amass a makeup collection that is too big for me. How did that happen? Let's see. Number one, I've ended up with products that aren't suitable for me just because I wasn't paying attention when I was buying them. For example, an under eye concealer that is too dark for me, and I should have seen that when I was buying it, but for some reason I just didn't. Another example is an eyeshadow that doesn't perform the way I want it to perform, but that's not the product's fault. I should have swatched it. I think this bad makeup purchasing habit is something that's easy to get rid of. It just comes with experience. When you're new to makeup, it's kind of easy to forget about some of the characteristics that you're looking for in a product and end up with a product that doesn't fully meet your requirements. That's kind of the growing pains of using makeup, if you will. So nowadays I'm not as concerned about relapsing into that habit. I just know to test my makeup, I know what I'm looking for in a product, and I think I've just gotten better at research. Number two bad makeup purchasing habit is falling for a novelty item, something I don't have in my collection and I don't know if I'm actually going to use, but feeling curious and adventurous and buying something that ends up not necessarily being a great addition to my collection. Something that exemplifies this bad makeup purchasing habit is buying an eye gloss that I should never have bought. And I should have done my research better and known that makeup glosses rarely work outside of an editorial environment. Another example is this eye kohl. Not that it's a bad product per se, but I use a black eyeliner in 90% of the time. So I rarely get to use this one and it's quite messy, and I just should have stuck to my pencils. Another novelty item that I rarely use is this Instamatte lipstick transformer by Smashbox. Again, not that those are bad products per se. Well, the eye gloss is kind of useless. But I should have asked myself if I was actually going to use those, and maybe even back then I would have realized that I don't need them. Bad makeup purchasing habit number three is buying sets and bundles of the same type of product. All of these lipsticks came in sets of 2s and 3s. Last year I bought 3 luminizers as well as 3 Fenty Beauty eyeliners. I bought a whole palette because I wanted to experiment with contouring, and I should have only bought 1 powder, right? And at some point I had 6 Clinique chubby sticks. Massive lesson learned, and I cannot stress this enough. Don't buy sets. Don't buy sets containing many of the same type of product. It's useless, it's just too much product to go through. Unless you want to share the set with someone, just don't do it. Never, never again. Bad makeup purchasing habit number 5 is buying too much when I was abroad. While I'm talking, you'll be seeing products that I bought outside of the country I was living in at the time. And there is nothing wrong with that per se. There's nothing wrong with going abroad and buying a product that you don't have access to in your country. It's actually a great perk of traveling, and you're also getting something that hopefully brings back nice memories from your trip. So far so good, but for me it turned into a bad makeup purchasing habit when I started buying too many things just because of FOMO, just because I happened to be in that country and I had access to things that I didn't have in the country I was living in, and I decided to stock up. And this is how I bought 3 Fenty Beauty highlight duos that I don't even use as highlighters, palettes that I wouldn't otherwise have bought, and this eyeliner that I've had for years now and it's still almost brand new. So for me, moral of the story is don't buy makeup just because you're abroad. Think about whether you're actually going to use it. And finally, bad makeup purchasing habit number 5. I think this is something that many people can relate to: buying things to treat yourself. I haven't planned a purchase, there's nothing I really need, I just happen to be passing by the Sephora, and because I've had a stressful day, I decide to treat myself to a bunch of blushes. I don't even think I need to elaborate on how bad this habit is if you're trying to stick to your budget or if you're trying to minimize your makeup collection. It's just mindless, you know. And I should have known better, although I haven't bought too many products like that. But next time I feel the urge to treat myself to something, I will know to buy myself a bar of organic chocolate or a drink or something else, you know, but not makeup and not clothing and not anything that will stay with me permanently, or at least for many, many years. So now that I've identified all of those bad makeup purchasing behaviors, I'll be conscious of them and try not to repeat them. And hopefully I've learned my lesson when it comes to buying makeup, that I should think really, really well before buying any kind of makeup, whether I'm going to use it, whether it's suitable for me, for my collection and for my goals. How about you? Do you have any of the bad makeup purchasing habits that I talked about, or do you have some other bad makeup purchasing habits? Please leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for today. Enjoy wearing your makeup, enjoy living your life. Bye!